Assalamu alaikum students. Welcome to Dar-e-Arqam online channel. In today's lecture, we are going to study the unit number 7 of your book. It's the Sultan Ahmed Masjid. Actually, students, since now Sultan Ahmed Masjid belongs to Turkish Empire. Sorry, belongs to a king of Turkish Empire who started its construction, but he could not see the completion of this masjid in his life. The name of the king was Sultan Ahmad I, and due to this masjid is known as Sultan Ahmad Masjid. Actually, his son Mehmed I, it was completed in the reign of his successor Mustafa I. Okay, and the year was 1616. Actually, we are not going to translate the whole chapter today. I just want you people to understand its basic theme. You can see here the theme of this unit is to highlight the significance of the Islamic architecture. What is meant by architecture? Students, architecture is is the capability of building and designing some building materials. For example, how we design our houses, how we design our masajid, how we design our different constructions. The world of Islam has a splendid heritage of art and architecture in which they excel throughout the history. World of Islam has a splendid heritage because it is something we inherited from the traditions that belong to the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam of art and architecture, because these art and architectural styles represent something about that history in which they excelled throughout the history. Excelled because they were admired throughout the world. Masajid have always been the prominent feature of the Islamic architecture. Yes, because masajid have masajid are the centers to make all the people gather in the same place, make all the Muslims of the society gather in the same place 5 times a day. This obviously enhances their strength and their mutual interaction and their cooperation. In short, masajid have a great role in strengthening the ummah. So the essay not only highlights the glory of the Sultan Masjid, but also throws light on the skill and ability of the architects of the time. Do you know? All right. Uh, this is a picture of this masjid, Sultan Ahmad Masjid. And it is, I will give you an overview of every paragraph, but without the translation, so that we can complete this unit within this lecture. Number 1, the Sultan Ahmad Masjid. In paragraph 1, we will read about the introduction of this. I'm sorry, introduction. Because again, Sultan Ahmad Masjid, one of the most impressive monuments in the world, it is said that Sultan Ahmad Masjid is situated in Istanbul, the darkest city in Turkey, and it belonged to Ottoman Empire. And this empire, spreads from 1453 to 1923. Now, in paragraph number 2, we learn what this masjid comprised of, and the date of its starting and dates of its completion. Similarly, in the third paragraph, we come to know about the name of its architecture, who was appointed by the Sultan, and the completion. It was completed in the reign of his successor Mustafa I. Whose successor? Successor of Ahmad I. All right. In the fourth paragraph, we learn what parameters were kept in view while designing this masjid, because Hagia Sophia and Byzantine Church, Ottoman Masajid were obviously with these all constructions were kept in view while designing this masjid. And it's number fifth in the fifth paragraph we learn about the interior, because its interior is comprises of forecourt, a spacious forecourt, where a fountain is obviously where a fountain also where there is a fountain as well. And there is a heavy iron chain, the heavy iron chain on the western side of this masjid, because this side was meant for Sultan, and he wanted himself to recall that he was a subject of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And number six, the interior of masjid has yes, these paragraphs number 6 and 7 all include the important designs of this masjid. In paragraph number 8, we learn about the mihrab and the pulpit. And similarly, in paragraph number 9, we come to know about the royal room. In number 10, we learn about the minarets. And similarly, in the last paragraph, in paragraph number 11, actually, it is a conclusive paragraph, right? Okay. Students, as you know, that a glossary of this unit is really important. While attempting your paper, you have the first question of first question of objective, in which you have to choose synonyms, forms of verbs, and spellings, and some options according to grammar. And this is something very important according to the synonyms in a glossary. There are the given meanings, right? Oral activity is not included in the textbook. Your paper the pattern. And so, okay, in the next question, comprehension, activity A, answer the following questions. These are the questions you can answer when you read the paragraphs thoroughly. Here, another activity. You can, students, this is a vocabulary exercise, and you can consult thesaurus and find the synonyms of the following words. It is very easy thing. You just have to open dictionaries, and you will find the meanings of these words. Those will be the synonyms of them. For example, embellish means to decorate, right? Circle the correct synonyms from the given choice of the underlined words. Here, the statement number 1 is Sultan Ahmed Masjid is one of the most impressive monuments in the world. Impressive is bolded and underlined. Its synonym, ugly, unimpressive, or remarkable. I'm sorry, I said a synonym. It is not synonym, it's antonyms, right? The opposite meaning of impressive would be unimpressive. Situated in Istanbul, the largest city in Turkey. Largest. The opposite meaning of largest is smallest. Heavy iron chain is hung at the upper part of the court entrance, or western side, heavy. It would be light. The upper level of the interior is adorned with blue paint. The antonym of upper would be lower. Now, the floors are covered with carpets. The antonym of covered would be exposed. Now, here you have the activity C. Use the following words and sentences. Impressive, dexterously, spacious, humility, flamboyant. Students, just keep in mind that you people have to be focused on the sentences and on the formation of sentences. So you people just try to make smaller and easier sentences for yourselves, because this will be the only formula to save your marks. For example, impressive. How would you use this word in sentence? Impressive. I can use a very simple and easy sentence for this word. For example, Sultan Ahmed Masjid is an impressive monument. Impressive. Similarly, dexterously, something that we do with this, with striving, with strength and effort. Dexterously, for example, I can say uh, he dexterously got a first in exams, right? Spacious. Spacious means something that is really wide. Vasi hona, right? Very wide, spacious, open. Sultan Ahmed Masjid has a spacious forecourt, right? Humility, right? Humility means when we expose that we are very down to earth, like before Allah Subhanahu wa Taala, we want to show that we have to bow ourselves before Him. So humility is something that represents our feelings towards our Lord. Humility, ajzi, inkasari. Humility. We must show humility before Allah. It would be really a simple sentence. Flamboyant means something that is really, very charming to see and very colorful and bright. We can use the sentence, the decorations of Sultan Ahmed Masjid make its interior very flamboyant, right? What do the following abbreviations stand for? Yes, these abbreviations are really important for your information, but these are not usually included in your paper pattern. So I would like to skip this part. Grammar, position of adverbs. Before going to solve this, this activity, I would like to describe about the adverbs. Adverbs are the parts of speech, or you're going to say word classes, that are used to describe more about a verb, about an adjective, or about an adverb, another adverb. So there are different sentences here in activity A of the grammar, where you have to put up the adverbs in the appropriate place. Beware that the paper setter can also underline these adverbs and may ask you that what part of speech these words represent, right? Those place adverbs at appropriate positions. Number one, she comes here often. She often comes here. He goes to Lahore sometimes. Yes, sometimes he goes to Lahore. Or you can say he goes to Lahore sometimes. The teacher was late. The teacher was hardly ever late. We are tired by the end of the day. We are usually tired by the end of the day. I have posted a letter to them. I have just posted a letter to them. He did his work carefully. Yes. Now degrees of comparison. You can see some adverbs like adjectives also have 3 degrees of comparison. Right? The positive, comparative, and superlative degree. What is meant by positive, comparative, and superlative degrees? In positive degree, we would just like to represent an adverb. In comparative degree, we would like to compare that adverb with something lower, and in the superlative degree, we would like to show that the quality that adverb obviously is highlighting uh, is found in its highest in something that we are talking about. Okay, it will be more clear. It will be clearer if I discuss these examples as well. The masjid is now designed that even when it is most crowded, everyone in the masjid can listen to and look at the imam. Most crowded, most. Here, most represent the superlative degree. Its comparative degree is more. And there would be no such addition when we want to use the crowded a single word. The masjid still remains to be one of the most visited monuments of the world. Now complete this table with appropriate degrees of adverbs. Positive degree, number 1, kept much. Here, keep in mind that kept is verb and much is its adverb. We would change the much into its comparative and superlative degrees, but not the kept. Right. Kept much. Its comparative would be kept more, and superlative would be kept most. Sang beautifully. Its comparative degree would be sang more beautifully, and its superlative would be sang most beautifully. Students, I put here more and most because beautifully has more syllables than much. When you deal with some word that has more than one or two syllables, you have to put more and most, right? Otherwise, just er or est would be the whole thing. Slept little, little. Comparative would be less, and superlative would be least. Looked good, looked better, looks best. Arrived early, arrived earlier, arrived earliest. Use the above degrees of comparison sentences as given example. Now, this is something you can do your own at your own. They came early this morning. I came earlier than him. He came earliest of all. In this way, you will just write all these degrees in sentences so that you can show what degree these adverbs belong to. Now, the last word I think is present perfect continuous tense. Structure of present perfect continuous tense is subject plus auxiliary, has, have plus auxiliary verb, been plus main verb, base plus ing, base word, right? Actually, present perfect continuous is also given in your verb exercise number 2, where you have to where you have to choose correct verb, either it is present perfect or perfect continuous. The structure of present perfect continuous is really familiar to you people, but there are two basic logics. That you have to keep in mind while using this tense. For example, logic number 1 is an action that has just stopped or recently stopped. We use the present perfect continuous tense to talk about an action that started in the past and stopped recently. In the given examples, you can see, I'm tired now because I've been running. You can see I've been running, and what is the result of that running? I'm tired now. Now I'm tired. You can also see that there is a relationship between past and present. In past I've been running, and in present I'm tired. Why is the grass wet now? Has it been raining? There you can also see there is a connection between past and present. Has it been raining in the past? Then why is the grass wet now? You don't understand now because you have not been listening. You have not been listening. This links the past, and you don't understand. This links to the present. An action continuing up to now. It's the second logic of this tense. We use the present perfect continuous tense to talk about an action started in the past and is continuing now. This is often used with for or since. We often use for a sense with the present perfect continuous tense. We use for to talk about a period of time like 5 minutes, like 2 weeks or years. And we use since to talk about a point of time in past time, for example 9 o'clock or 1st January. You people have already read this distinction in verb exercise number 2. Here the examples are, I've been reading for 2 hours, I'm still reading now. We've been studying since 9 o'clock, we are still studying now. For how long have you been learning English? You're still learning now. Here, dear students, you can distinguish very easily that if you want to say that an action has just stopped, you won't like to use any adverb of time, right? Using since or for. While in the second condition, when we want to say that the action is still continued, you have to put for or since an adverb of time with that. Put for or since in the blanks. It's the activity. Right. I've been studying that's 3 hours. Well, dear students, 3 hours is the whole period of time, so we would like to add for 3 hours. I've been watching TV that's 7 p.m. It's a point of time. Since 7 p.m. Tara has not been feeling well dash 2 weeks. Yes, for 2 weeks. Tara has not been visiting us March. It's point since March. He's been playing football at a long time. For a long time. He's been living in Bangkok since he left the school. It's a single point. Now, make 5 sentences using the present perfect continuous tense and convert them into negative and interrogative sentences. To do this activity, you people have to be careful about the place of not or place of helping verb while making the negative or interrogative sentences. In case of negative sentences, you have to put not after auxiliary verb has or have. For example, if we want to convert example number one, I'm tired because I've been running, this example number one into negative sentence, how will we do that? I've been running, I have not been running. I have not been running. I've been not running would be the wrong sentence, because in case of a compound helping verb or auxiliary verb, you will use not after the first part of auxiliary verb, right? Similarly, when we want to make it interrogative sentence, we will replace the reshift the first auxiliary in before the subject. For example, has it been raining? In example number two, you can see this formula: has it been raining? They're not saying has been it raining, right? It is splitting has and been, right? So I hope this exercise was really easy for you people as well. And please comment in your comment section if you want to know something more about this exercise. And if you now want to know the translation of this chapter as well through this channel, please appreciate, and we appreciate your feedback in this regard. And please like this video as well, and keep tuned with us. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.